So I always like to do a little bit of call out and find out who came the furthest distance. I think I might know, but raise your hand if you think you came the furthest distance. Where? Alabama's, listen, that's a distance. I think it's an exotic distance too. Yes. California? Can anybody beat California? Anybody? Where? Canada. Where in Canada? Vancouver? Hold on. We've corresponded. We have. Yes. Stay tuned. Okay. Who's here? Yeah. No, you are Californian. Yeah. We're in California though. LA County. Okay. Welcome. We're loving it. All right. So, welcome everybody. My name is Alfred Ayub. I'm the Senior Director of Admissions here at Columbia Climate School. I promise you're going to have fun today. It's going to be informative, inspiring, and hopefully you determine which programs are the best fit for you for your future graduate journeys. What I want to go ahead and do is just give you a little bit of an overview of the agenda. We're starting today with a broad overview of Columbia University, the Climate School, along with kind of a bit of a preview for each degree program. At 9:30 a.m., we then move into a faculty panel, which will occur right here. Then we transition to a current student panel. The current student panel has students representing each of our 6 distinct degree programs today. And then the funnest part of the day, maybe Lamont's the funnest part, but I'll throw this out. This is a pretty fun part of the day, is the degree breakout sessions, okay? There's 2 distinct degree breakout sessions. I'll go into those shortly. But essentially from 11:20 a.m. to 12:45, you get 2 identical degree breakout sessions. We then have an optional campus tour occurring at 12:45. That's going to be departing on the first floor here of Faculty House. And then anybody that has an orange sticker, raise your hand if you have an orange sticker on your name tag. You guys are going to get to know me and Damaris Diaz very well today because we're going to be on that shuttle bus with you all the way to Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory. So we're going to have a lot of fun, I promise. But essentially at the end of the breakout sessions, come down to the first floor. We'll have some boxed lunches for you, and then we'll head on to a shuttle bus. I want to give a little bit more airtime specifically to the breakout sessions just for further explanation. So raise your hand if you're interested in climate finance. Excellent. Okay, your breakout session is occurring in the Skyline room up on the 4th floor, 1 floor up. Raise your hand if you're interested in the MPA in Environmental Science and Policy. Very good. So your breakout session is going to be on this floor, the 3rd floor, and just behind you, the door to my left. Who's interested in sustainability management? Wonderful. Okay. The godfather of sustainability management is here, Dean Stephen Cohen. So he's going to be very happy to see this audience. Then who's interested in sustainability science? Raise your hand. Very excellent, excellent. So the sustainability science breakout session is occurring in boardroom 1754. That's just outside this door to the left, right near the restrooms. There's a boardroom there. And then who's interested in climate society, perhaps? Wonderful. That's going to be on the 1st floor, the garden room 1, and then finally MS in climate. Very cool. That's going to be the 1st floor garden room 2. Now, these are 2 identical breakout sessions. Session 1 and session 2 will be in the exact same content. Who's interested in 3 programs? Really? Okay. 4? 4, all right, okay. This session's only giving you 2. So what that means is that we have phenomenal virtual sessions. Some of the programs are hosting also additional in-person events as well. Go ahead and make sure that you follow those degree programs because today you're going to get those 2 breakout sessions. But without further ado, what I would like to do is introduce our fearless leader, the one, the only, Dean Alexis Abramson. So let me give you a little bit of background on Dean Abramson. Dean of Columbia Climate School and Professor of Climate. She is a climate thought leader and an expert in sustainable energy technology with extensive experience in academic administration. Professor Abramson's research has focused broadly on thermal transport, from designing nanostructured materials to addressing building energy efficiency. Before coming to her role at Columbia in January 25, Professor Abramson served as Dean of the Thayer School of Engineering at Dartmouth. Prior to her tenure at Dartmouth, she was the Milton and Tamar Maltz Professor of Energy Innovation at Case Western Reserve University and served as director of the university's Great Lake Energy Institute, where she focused on creating sustainable energy technology solutions. Dean Abramson also co-founded Edifice Analytics, a startup that conducts vital energy audits and manages building efficiency optimization. During the Obama administration, Dean Abramson held the role of chief scientist and manager of the Emerging Technologies Division at the U.S. Department of Energy's Building Technologies Office. She has previously served as a technical advisor to Breakthrough Energy Ventures, established by Bill Gates to invest in startup companies with significant potential to mitigate climate change. Please, let's give a warm welcome for Dean Abramson.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Halloween. I'm dressed as the electricity grid. Can you see? It really is, So we have a lot of fun here, so hopefully that's of interest to you as well. We're really thrilled that you're joining us today, whether you've traveled across the city or across the country or across the globe. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and I started to learn at a pretty young age, and some of you may have learned this throughout your lives, that the Cuyahoga River, which runs right through Cleveland, caught on fire, right? And at an early age, I knew that was probably unusual, that water should not catch on fire. And that really was a catalyst for my interest in sustainability issues that many, many decades later I now continue to explore. Your presence here definitely shows your commitment and interest in the really important issues defining our time around climate and energy transition and sustainability. So thank you in advance and for the work that you're even probably doing now to really help us tackle that change. At Columbia Climate School in particular, we view climate change and the issues that encompass it not only as a global challenge, but one of the real greatest opportunities to work with people around innovation in this space, around leadership in this space, and around really helping to transform ideas into real impact. This space is expanding rapidly. I'm sure you feel that today. All you have to do is pick up a paper, virtually, I imagine, but to realize that various opinions are out there, various ideas are out there, various options are available to us. And so really, we want to bring you here to Columbia to really help equip you with the knowledge that you need, the experiential learning that you need in order to help the world make decisions around renewable energy, around sustainable finance, climate policy, resilience planning, new forms of even data-driven or AI-driven decision-making. So our programs, really across the board, prepare students to lead in this global change, this changing global economy. And we're equipping you with the tools that you need to help innovate, assess risk, and really help drive those solutions forward. So our graduate and partner programs take a real interdisciplinary approach that really sets us apart, right? We're not engineering or journalism or medicine. We're very disciplinary focused, sometimes with a multidisciplinary bend. But everything that we do is multidisciplinary. So you come here to the climate school and to our partner programs in order to experience that very multidisciplinary way of learning and incorporating those tools into your own toolbox. Also, professional development is a central part of our mission. We continue to grow our professional development opportunities. You'll benefit from career coaching, applied capstone, so bringing that real world experience in, industry engagement, a strong alumni network, a network of more than 3,000 professionals working in government and finance and science and consulting and NGOs around the world. So whether your goal is to shape policy or drive innovation in the private sector or design sustainable infrastructure, build solutions for communities, I hope that you choose to come here and you choose to find your path here at Columbia. We're also very proud to foster a diverse learning community of real passionate, and I mean passionate, change makers who want to make a difference, be it in our local community, in our backyard, or be it globally. So as you participate in today's sessions, I encourage you to ask questions, engage with our faculty, connect with current students, connect with each other, and I hope you imagine yourself in this very sort of tight-knit community that we are trying to grow of climate leaders or soon-to-be climate leaders. And so for those of you joining the Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory visit, which I love to go to, I hope you enjoy seeing firsthand where Columbia scientists study the Earth systems. Lamont's been around for about 75 years. Many incredible experts that study Earth science there, a real strong history, the place where the term global warming was actually coined. And thank you again then for spending your day with us. We hope this experience helps you envision your goals and that your passions align with what we're offering here at the school. So I'm going to turn things back over to Alfred, who will introduce you to some more information about what you'll learn today.
Thank you so much, Dean Abramson. So I'm going to go ahead and, again, give you really just a taste of each of these 6 distinct degree programs. The breakout sessions is going to be the full meal, so to speak. And again, if you have interest in more than 2 programs, more than 2 programs, I encourage you to check out those standalone kind of virtual sessions or additional on-campus opportunities. It's worth noting you're at Columbia University. This is the 5th oldest institution in the country. The oldest in the state of New York. We're considered by many to be a blueprint of a research institution. And when you say Columbia University, you're referring to a school with over 20 distinct schools that fall underneath that umbrella, the majority of them being professional graduate schools. And it just so happens Columbia Climate School is the newest school within that portfolio. We were announced in 2020, launched in 2021. And I think Dean Abramson did a beautiful job of kind of giving an overview of our mission and the type of faculty and students we attract. I like to just anchor everybody in terms of the footprint at the climate school. So you'll see on this slide there are 3 distinct photographs. That's very intentional. You are all here today on the Morningside Heights campus in the lower left corner. Many of our classes are hosted across the 6 degree programs here at Morningside Heights. The middle photograph is the Forum building, which is housed at 125th and Broadway. That's our new Manhattanville campus. In fact, Columbia Business School, I know some of you are interested in the MS in Climate Finance program. Columbia Business School is housed there. The Forum building actually houses many of our faculty offices, and some of our core courses are taught in that building. And then the final photograph in the lower right is Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory. Dean Abramson gave you some history and background, again, celebrating 75 years. It's a 189-acre campus located on the Hudson River in Rockland County. It's really beautiful, but most importantly, they have performed incredible work there in the earth, environmental sciences, many climate scientists housed there. So while we are a new school, we have decades and decades of history in climate and sustainability space. We are discussing 6 degree programs today, 3 of them housed within Columbia Climate School. Those include the MA in Climate Society, the MS in Climate Finance, and the MS in Climate. We then have the School of Professional Studies with our 2 partner programs we work very closely with, including the MS in Sustainability Management and MS in Sustainability Science. And finally, last but not least, is the School of International and Public Affairs, MPA in Environmental Science and Policy program. Now, this chart really is just to give you a very high-level aerial view of the distinctions. It's going to give you the total credits. It's going to give you the time to completion, if there's a part-time option, the enrollment start times. So in terms of the first program is the MA Climate Society. I know quite a few of you have indicated interest in that. That's a one-year, 35-credit program. We do have a part-time option in that, but it's a very intimate learning community. If you were to do the part-time option, it would be a 2-year program. The full-time option would be a 1-year program. In terms of its enrollment, it's a fall start. Then we have the MS in Climate Finance program. That's also a 1-year program. It is going to be delivered in 3 semesters, and that's also a fall start. Then we have the MS in Climate. That is the only degree program today that is a 2-year degree program we're going over. It's a 50-credit program. It also has a fall start and can only be completed full-time. Then we have the MPA in Environmental Science Policy. That's a 1-year program with 54 credits, and that is going to have a very unique summer start. And then the 2 sustainability management programs, and content is different, but in structure very nearly identical. It's 36 credit hours each. These programs really cater to both part-time students and full-time students, and you can complete the program in as little as 3 semesters, or alternatively take up to 9 semesters if you're a working professional going part-time, of course. Something else unique about the sustainability programs is they have a fall or spring start. Is anybody interested in spring? Potentially January start? Okay, so I think November 1st is the deadline, so we're coming up. All right, excellent. So let me now give you a little bit more information about each degree program. First is the MA Climate Society. It is a 35-credit interdisciplinary graduate degree that trains professionals and academics to understand and address the impacts of climate variability and change on society and environment. In this 1-year degree program, you will be experiencing what we call the Climate Core, and I'll talk about the Climate Core in a couple slides. You'll also have electives, and then, of course, in the summer semester, this Transforming Concepts into Practice capstone workshop. A capstone workshop, by the way, is a recurring theme throughout these professional degree programs. But I think something that's very distinct about the MA Climate and Society is the flexibility within its elective journey. So the MA Climate and Society allows you to be as exploratory as you like. As we know, climate touches everything. Maybe you're interested in climate and public health, so you want to cross-register in the Mailman School of Public Health. Perhaps you're interested in climate and an environmental science course. How's it the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences? What's interesting about this degree, and you will hear it during the breakout session, is that you have an opportunity to really cross-register if you so chose. And to really shed light on it, the one stipulation about the MA Climate and Society is one of the the elective courses. I'm looking at Justine because Justine's in charge of those. But one of those graduate elective courses has to be taken at the climate school. The additional electives could be in a cross-register journey, perhaps, or all at the climate school. So you can be very exploratory. Next, we have the MS in Climate program. This is a 50-credit-hour professional degree that gives graduates really with diverse backgrounds and in-depth training in specific areas of climate expertise. The distinction between the MA in Climate Society and the MS in Climate is going to be not only the length of time, so you're going to have this kind of 4-semester fall-spring journey, but it's really going to be in a second credential embedded within the MS in Climate in the form of an advanced certificate. Right now, our advanced certificates include Climate Systems Analytics, Climate and Disaster Management, and Climate and Food Systems. I'll also note the MS in Climate is the only degree program that we're discussing today that has an official dual degree option within the university. So the MS in Climate program has partnered with the Graduate School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation. If anybody's interested in the built environment, for example, their degree program, the MS in Architecture and Urban Design, is a dual degree with the MS in Climate. And then the final one is MS in Carbon Management with Columbia Engineering. Again, in those 2 years, it would be the same timeline. You would be getting both a MS in Climate degree and then perhaps a degree from Columbia Engineering or alternatively GSAPP. Now I'll discuss the MS in Climate Finance. This degree program, again, is a 1 year, 39 credit program. I'll also note all of our degrees are STEM designated. I should be highlighting the distinctions. I keep going over the similarities with each one, but all of them are STEM designated if interested. It's a 39 credit professional degree offered by Columbia Climate School. And what's distinct about this is that it's in close collaboration with Columbia Business School. So for example, the MA Climate Society is very exploratory. The MS in Climate Finance program is fairly prescriptive. That degree program has a list of core courses, but also specific elective courses housed within Columbia Business School and Columbia Climate School with which you will be exploring. Again, the spirit of this degree program is the idea that we understand the major mitigation and adaptation projects that need to occur in the energy transition, but we need to train those professionals in order to help build those major projects. So that's the spirit of climate finance, and again, this is going to be a three-semester program with a series of climate core and finance core courses housed at Columbia Business School. I'll just briefly mention that I keep mentioning a climate core, and so I want to just highlight there's 3 courses on this chart that every Columbia Climate School student will explore. Number 1 is Dynamics of Climate Variability and Change. Dynamics of Climate Variability Change is the physics behind climate change. I always say, if somebody stops you on the street and says, "Do you believe in climate change?" and your response is yes, and then they say, "Why do you believe in it?" The dynamics course is going to anchor you with the why, and it's going to allow you to understand the why and articulate the why with different constituents, whether it be an executive in the C-suite or a policy analyst or in the K-12 space. Then we have climate change adaptation and mitigation. These are the 2 pillars in addressing climate change. And finally, all of our students have an opportunity to explore capstone. Now I'm going to transition to our partner programs. First and foremost is the Masters of Public Administration in Environmental Science and Policy. This degree program is extremely unique. We mentioned dual degrees. The dual degree I mentioned earlier was a 2-year program. This program is almost designed like a dual degree, however, action-packed, delivered in 1 year, 54 credit hours. This degree program is also the oldest degree program within the portfolio. Again, it's a 1-year immersive format. Students begin in the summer. Typically, it's around 55 to 65 students that enroll in the program each year. And it really does, it's a unique program in terms of its delivery. The first semester is going to be a series of applied environmental science courses taught by Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory faculty and scientists. So Lamont is a through line throughout our program. You're going to find that. There are 5 specific content areas that you are going to explore within this program. And I think something that's very unique about the MPA ESP program is the workshop sequence. So there is a through line, a theme throughout the MPA program. You have a team project in your first semester looking at a bill from a policy, from a science lens, then from a policy lens the second semester, and then you work with a live client in your final semester. The next up is the Sustainability Management Program, and it's listed here as the world's top sustainability program. It's also the oldest sustainability management program, certainly in the country. And in terms of its key features, it's designed for current and aspiring leaders who wish to pursue careers in management at the intersection of business and environment. This is the largest degree program within the portfolio that's being discussed today. There's over 400 students enrolled in this degree. Again, it caters to both full-time and part-time, and it has an extremely flexible curriculum where you're really able to tailor your sustainability management program to your interests. In terms of that flexibility that I'm highlighting, again, it's 36 credit hours, you're looking at 12 courses, but within those 36 credit hours, you only have 2 required classes that every sustainability management student takes. Your remaining courses are going to be made up of a series of classes within each one of these content areas. Content areas like economics and quantitative analysis, general and financial management, public policy, for example. And if I could just pause, another element that's very unique about sustainability management is that this program requires that you take courses under the physical dimensions of sustainability management, so kind of understanding the science of sustainability, but also making sure you're taking public policy courses. Because as we know, it's much more than just the bottom line in terms of business decision making. You also have to have an understanding of policy. There's also some certificates of professional achievement embedded within the sustainability portfolio. You have options of sustainability analytics, sustainable water management, and a certification in sustainable finance. I'll just highlight sustainable finance also has an online option. So if you were looking for a strictly virtual option, sustainable finance could be a great fit. And then last but not least is our MS in Sustainability Science program, which is in design very similar to the sustainability management, but in content quite different. So it's designed for current and aspiring leaders who wish to observe and monitor natural systems, project environmental conditions and their impacts on human systems, and develop solutions for real-world sustainability issues. This degree program is designed by Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory scientists. Again, Lamont being a recurring theme here. Also available in a full-time or a part-time setting. And in terms of this degree program, you have those 5 distinct content areas. This program does have 3 required courses, sustainability science being one, and a capstone in your final semester, along with a statistics course that dives into Python. But this could be a phenomenal option for you as well. So wrapping things up, again, this was just a very, very brief preview to these programs. You're going to want to go to those breakout sessions to really dig in. Our application deadlines are as follow. For the 3 degree programs under the Climate School, so that's the MS in Climate Finance, MA Climate Society, and the MS in Climate program. You're looking at a fall start, so that's a January 15th priority deadline and a March 1st regular deadline, okay? Who's interested in fall? Raise your hand, fall 26, okay. All of you should take advantage, if there is an available earlier deadline, take advantage of those earlier deadlines. That's just helpful hints. Next up is the MPA in Environmental Science and Policy. That is a summer start. You're looking at November 1st is early decision. Fellowship consideration is going to be January 15th, and then the final deadline is going to be February 15th. For sustainability management, again, you could start in the fall or alternatively in the spring if you want to begin your journey in January. You're looking at May 1st for a fall start deadline, and then finally November 1st for spring. And that's the exact same deadlines for sustainability science within the within School of Professional Studies. So, without further ado, I would like to now welcome our faculty panel, and specifically Justine Herrera, who is the Senior Director of Academic Programs here at Columbia Climate School, who is going to go ahead and welcome our faculty. All right, thank you guys.